745 Morning News. All local, all morning.
The majority of those images that we see are images of violence and police and riot gear, military vehicles rumbling down our own streets. Well, head pediatrician from GBMC, Timothy Doran, is here to help parents and guardians turn this crisis in our city into teachable moments. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning, Tom.
Good morning. This is an issue that we're faced with. I mean, we're faced with not only parents and guardians, but also teachers in the city as kids are going back to school right now in Baltimore City schools. How do you approach this? If you say, let's start with family. You're sitting on the couch, you're watching this, you can't turn away from it. It's on every channel. How do you approach the conversation with your kids?
Well, really, Tom, it depends on the age of your children. Obviously, with a teenager, adolescent, they're getting media streamed through them through all kinds of sources, through Twitter and Facebook and TV. So with them, it's really a more mature discussion. At the other end of the spectrum, before the age of reason, before 7, they really can't incorporate this into their lives. So that's not really a discussion you need to have with the very young children in your household. Okay. And then in between the school-aged kids, the kids from 7 to 12, you kind of let them take the lead in terms of what their questions are about what's going on.
So older than 12, normally you'd approach it just like in a regular adult conversation that you and I would have?
Well, close to an adult conversation. They still have fears, they still have anxieties, they're still more sensitive to what's going on. They are still, especially in those earlier ages, forming their ethics and morals. So you have to frame it in terms of your own framework, your religion, your own ethical views, for instance.
Okay, so take a moral stand, especially when we see that a lot of the violence was sparked by kids at Mondawmin Mall that were getting out, and that's what sparked a lot of that violence here once they got out, so it's almost their own peers.
Well, that's right, and if it is their own peers, then it becomes much more complicated in terms of that discussion.
All right, well, thank you very much, Dr. Doran. We appreciate that, and of course, a lot of families are bringing them downtown and doing some activities to help relieve the tension, I guess, in the house, too, getting outdoors, getting away from the media.
Which is great. I mean, that's a wonderful thing to do.
All right, Dr. Doran, thank you again. Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Tom.
Well, coming up,